Welcome everybody to Unpacked with Liat. Today I'm sitting with Yehuda Kamman from Men of Integrity, and I'm really so honored that you're here. I have so many questions for you, and I'm sure that just like from everything that I've seen on your Instagram, I've just been so captivated and really just personally wanting to pick your brain. But also, I feel like one of the reasons that I started this is because I feel that I have access to so many people who are incredible, like specifically even in our community, and they have so much to share and so much wisdom to impart. And I feel like that's my thing to do. And so I really want to thank you for being.
Of course, thank you. Thank you for having me. It means a lot.
Of course. Okay. So give us a little bit of a background. Like, who are you? What is Men of Integrity? Give a brief understanding of what the
Yeah,
buzzword polarity is.
yeah. Okay.
You know, go
So
for it.
I'm Yehuda Kamman, and let's see. I came up, got married when I was 23 years old in Crown Heights, Balchuva, both me and my wife. Had a kid right away, did the typical thing, did Kollel for a little bit, moved to LA because I have a background in film and music. And so I worked out here in Hollywood forever. Everything from literal Hollywood, Nickelodeon, movie sets, commercial agencies, trailers, all this stuff. I did that most of my career. And throughout that entire time, just like everybody else, everybody has marital issues. Everybody fights. Everybody becomes roommates. And when I say everybody, I don't literally mean everybody, but you tell me someone who hasn't had a hard time. If you're really like invested in each other, you're gonna get on each other's nerves. You're gonna have a hard time. So 10 plus years of struggling and a lot of issues with in-laws and family and just the typical BS, right? So just we read books, we went to therapy, we went all this stuff, and thank God one day through Hashem I got introduced to Polarity, which is through this coach. Her name is Kim, and she just basically was like, your wife feels unsafe to fully be herself and to fully trust that you can handle her and that she wants you to handle her and she wants you to take all of her emotions and feel safe and settled and ready to give them to you. And I was like, what is this? And lo and behold, we signed up for her program. We started reading books. We started doing all this stuff. And that was like a good 2 or 3 years, just me and my wife, just really putting in the work, understanding each other, late night investments, and significant transformation of our connection through polarity, which I will describe that definition in a little bit. And long story short, I started going to shul. I always go to shul, but started talking about it. I started speaking a little bit about it to friends, Shabbos tables, for bring-ins, whatever. And these guys were like, what? Really? Like, that's how your marriage is now? You went from here to here? Yeah. How do you talk to your wife? What do you do? And I would explain it to them. And fast forward, just a lot of interest just in my friend group. Then I got invited to this men's group here in LA. And the men's group was very interesting to me because I kind of have a personality where I'm very just get it done type of person. I'm just like, hey, don't beat around the bush. Let's go straight, you know? And so I went to this men's group and it was a bunch of men, God bless them, like crying about their feelings and emotions, which is important sometimes. But I know, and I have lived through, and I have been trained, at least privately, men need to accomplish. They need to strive. They need to feel wanted, desired, and seen.
You've been trained privately, like
Through my coaching, my polarity coach, through my life. Yeah, exactly. And so I'm looking at these men and I'm like, hey, but what are you guys going to do tonight when you go home? What are you going to do tomorrow for your wife? It's like, okay, cool. You're hurting. You're having a horrible time. You're going through some stuff. I don't know if you're.
you can share us on here.
Okay, fine. You're going through some really hard stuff. Um, and I'm like, try this when you go home tonight. Say this to her, be like, hey, Miss Wife, I'll use my wife's name, Shayna. How was your day? I would love to hear what's on your heart tonight. Just tell me. And I don't want to I don't want to fix it. I don't want to get defensive. I don't want to talk really back at all. I want to hear how your heart is doing today. For me, from the kids, whatever. And these guys that came back like, bro, you have no idea. She just like cried and it was amazing. She felt so close to me. I'm like, yeah, this is the tip of the iceberg of like, we're different creatures. Men and women are different creatures. And so what are you doing with it? And so that inspired me to be like, you know what? This men's group is decent. I'm going to do my own. So I started a men's group in my backyard at the time. And this was about 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, coming up on 2 years. It might already be 2 years already. And I needed a name for it. And I already kind of was playing around with me being an educator in this, just in my own head. And I made this teeny little Instagram post privately, not to account, not post. I made an account privately to myself. Nobody knew about it, called How to Be a Mensch, which is like, I was trying to mix man and mensch, because I know mensch means man, but it's like how to be a man, mensch, Jewish. I was trying to like play on words, and it just didn't sit with me. And then all in my, I once had a manager at a big ad agency in Hollywood, where somebody was trying to like win over a client by behaving differently, right? That's what a lot of people do in life. And I happened to land this big account by just being me. And then he stood up in the boardroom and all this stuff, and he's like, yes, because Yehuda has integrity. Like I won't change who I am to get money or whatever. And that compliment always stuck with me. I never heard the word. I looked it up. Like I knew I've heard it, but it didn't hit me. He used the word. He's like, yeah, you have integrity. And I was like, wow, it always stuck with me for years. And I was like, okay. And I changed that little Instagram private account to Men of Integrity, right? And then I was like, okay, cool. And then I made a flyer, and I'm like, hey, I'm doing a barbecue, free food, talking about relationships. And I sent it on my friends. 2 people came. The next week, 5 people came. The next week, 6. The next week, 10. It grew to 70 people in my backyard every Thursday night, up to 70 people. And then they would come, and then I would do events. And I'm like, whoa. And then those same guys would show up at my house, and they would text me privately, be like, hey, I'm going through this. How can I help? And then I was like, all right, I'm doing something about this. I'm going to become a professional coach in this. I'm good at it. I love it. My heart is in it, and it resonates with people. So that's how I started. And I made a program, and I based it, every single part of my program. I have a whole comprehensive course now. I have hundreds of clients, and thank God it's going very well. I'm able to support my family and then some. So I have this Rolodex of testimonials and people that I've helped, all based off of what I went through, what my wife went through. We wrote it. We came up with the curriculum. My wife and I have 5 pillars. I'll go over that a little later. Yeah, pain into purpose. Very good. And that's me. That's how I got started. I have 4 kids. I've been married coming up on 19 years. I have a 17-year-old, an 11-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So yeah, that's me. That's how it happened.
You said you and your wife came up with the curriculum together, but you're the primary coach, or does she work with you in the coaching as well?
She does not work with me in the coach. Thank God my wife is retired. She used to be a very successful coach, my wife, a holistic health coach for all of LA and the world, and she was very successful. And one of the reasons that drew us to this work, to like in the middle of us like really breaking down our marriage and our relationship and who we are and what we are, and healing ourselves, because polarity is radical honesty. And I'm going to describe where the word polarity comes from in a second, but it really means facing yourself, speaking the truth to yourself first, and also in the relationship. But you can't speak truth in a relationship. You're not truthful to yourself. Right. Who am I? What kind of husband am I? What kind of father am I? What kind of man am I? What do I actually want? How am I actually feeling? And not hiding that in the relationship, but having the skills to gracefully live together. So if you're not doing that, you're not living a truthful life, an honest life. 100%. And so she, in the middle, like about a year into, maybe a year and a half into us, like finally unlocking real connection, she was like, I'm fake. She's not a fake person, but I don't want to put on these masks. I don't want to be performative. I don't want to be in the cameras. I don't want to be a coach. I love helping people, but I'm so in my masculine, hustling, trying to close people, trying to fix people, I just want to be a mom, and I just want to be a wife. And of course, I was not ready for that. And I was like, what? She was making good money. Like, we were both cruising. And I'm like, what? You're going to drop all of this? This is what you're going to do? Yes. And thank God, I'm a little slow, ladies and gentlemen. About 6 months later, I finally got it. It took me like, no, maybe you could do half. What are we going to do? And I'm just like fighting it. Right.
It's interesting because I went, we got married young also. I was 19 when I met Letty, 21 got married, 21 when I had my first. And I have 4 kids, thank God. And I tried all these different career avenues and paths and all these things. And eventually, before I got pregnant with my third, I went for my master's in social work. I love helping people. I love the concept of therapy and getting into the brain and understanding different things. And this was the avenue that I went in. In my internship, I loved it.
Yeah.
The second money was attached to it,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Well, there's lots of science behind that. It shuts the feminine nervous system down.
And this is what led me here because I was like, I'm quitting. I don't like this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yes, it was a lot of heavy stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like anything that I ever done, and like there was a point even before Lenny's Casita that like I was cooking out of my home and selling Shabbos baked goods and stuff. And like once it got too big, like I,
Yeah.
you know, and I was like, that's so weird though. Like I'm making good money. Like why don't I like this?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make sense.
Yep. It does. There's
the science behind
it's the science. It's literal
crazy.
polarity. And so it was my push. It was my, and I don't know the word to use for it. I say rock bottom, but it's not a rock bottom. It was a place where I finally had to be like, Yehuda, you can do this.
Yeah.
Like you can support your entire family in Los Angeles and figure it out.
But underneath what she's saying, that's what she's telling you.
Yes. Yes. Oh no, to be fair, we were further enough into polarity where she was saying, I believe in you, you can do this. Like you are a king, you can handle this.
Into that, and she's saying like, I don't want to work.
Yeah.
Underneath that.
She's saying, I believe in this man. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And that's what I teach. I teach women how to say that.
The man needs to hear those words.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was my moment where I was like, okay, I got to figure this out. I have to. I must. And then I went to work, and then I still worked in film industry. I started building, and then I started doing this on the side, building out this career. And this past year, starting in 2000, little halfway through 2025, like I do this full time. This is how I support a family of 4 in Los Angeles.
Your passion, really, like on your Instagram, it comes through on the camera.
Thank you. Yeah, I genuinely love it. Like this is
I'm saying like you can see that from people who are just like posting to post.
Yeah.
Or people who are genuinely passionate about it and have what to say and have what to share, and it comes through.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean it's cheesy, and this is my shluchus. Like this isn't just, you know, not to sound whatever. I'm very proud of myself that I do this. I always say to my clients, and I don't know if you remember, I'm 41. So when I grew up, Balchuva, there's this commercial called Hair Club for Men, and it's like I'm not only the founder, I'm a member. Like he's just saying I also was bald and now whatever. I founded the so I'm the same way. I'm not only a founder, I'm a member of my own. I have Men of Integrity Tribe, right? That's what it's called.
Right.
I'm a member of the tribe also. So I always teach men like you must learn to verbally speak positive about yourself. So I was just about to brag, but no, I'm going to brag. I have helped hundreds of people, not just in their relationship, but even when people come to me and they need help, like in their relationship, I help them. Like it's not just something that I like, oh, okay, where's the money? How does it work? You know, like I have a business, I run a business, I will charge you. But if you need help, cameras, I will help you. Reach out. Like this is my mission. This is what I've decided since I was 7 years old. I always wanted to help people. Mir Tashem, this is how
it's incredible when you find your calling, when you come into your purpose, and like obviously, yeah, like you said, you run a business and money is a factor.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many people are like, I can't finish paying you. Don't worry about it. Good. You're good. Here, enjoy. Let's keep going. Like it's don't take advantage of me on that, and I won't let you, but I help people. This is my shluchus. This is what I do, and I love it. And I've been given a gift, and through Hashem, so I want to help as many people as I can.
Beautiful. Okay, so define polarity.
Okay, so it's a very simple and complex. Short way, long way, right? Short way, it just comes from the word polar opposites, which is positive ions and negative ions is what makes a magnet stick together. They spin around the metal. That's the North Pole, South Pole. Right. Hence the word polarity. So when positive ions spin and negative ions spin, that's what attracts the connection of the magnet. When positive and positive or negative and negative, you flip it over, that's when the magnets push each other apart. Yeah. So the polarity, why is it attached to relationships? I don't know exactly who was the first one to do that. I'm sure a long time ago in some book. Polarity is the key to relationships was written in the 1800s. I don't know. I have to maybe ask ChatGPT who used polarity first. I didn't make it up. It just means that when you celebrate your differences, especially as masculine and feminine, this is what brings you together. Right. That the more opposite you are, you will be more attracted to each other. The more in your feminine you are, the more in your masculine your husband is, you will become closer. The more similar you try to be, the more masculine you try to be, and the more feminine he tries to be, or vice, too much of not who you are, you'll push each other apart.
Right.
So this is why people use the word polarity. It just simply means celebrating who you naturally are, aka radical honesty with who you are. So that's why I say polarity equals radical honesty.
So in your program that you have 5 pillars. So somebody reaches out to you, they wanna do the work. Is it typically just the man? Is it the man and the woman together? How does that?
Yeah. So yeah. I've always been on. Now I'm a little torn, but I'm not. I love it. People love it. I'm not changing it. But I started out teaching men, and one of the problems with teaching men or even marketing to men is it's very difficult to get a man emotionally involved through social media. In general, I don't think it's a mystery to you that 99.9% of people who sign up for my program, guess who saw me first? The wife. So I quickly realized that in the beginning of like, these men are not looking for help. Because I looked at myself. Was I looking for help online?
But know that they need help.
Yeah. Not even not looking. Yeah, exactly. I don't even know that I need help. I'm okay. My wife's crazy sometimes. I'm crazy sometimes. We'll figure it out. Like it's just like, let me go to work. Yeah.
It's fine. And this is a
Yes.
whatever wave, and
Yes.
this happens every so often, and then we're okay, and then we're not okay, and then we're okay, and we're not okay. And
Correct.
that's the cycle, and they're used to it, and it's coming.
Correct. So women have something called diffuse awareness, meaning they are constantly scanning their environment for safety, not just physical safety, biological safety. Where's things sharp for the kids? They know where the ketchup is. They know where this is. They know where the salt is. That's not just an anxious tick for women. That is called diffuse awareness. It's a protection mechanism for women to be aware of their environment when safety is not around, because their software is 8 times faster than men's. Their right and left brain is 8 times faster. So what happens is that diffuse awareness translates to now our day and age, social media, that they are scanning for improvement, self-growth, self-help, all these different things. So women are online, social media, whatever it is, always looking. They're the ones reading the books, listening to the podcast, everything, right? So I'm getting to your question.
Good. Yeah. I love all of this.
Yeah. Okay, good.
You're good.
So when I am out there, just either when I first started with men, the just emotional awareness the bucket isn't getting filled. On a marketing perspective, a business perspective. And I started off with these men, and I'm building their self-confidence. I'm building their self-esteem. I'm bringing them up. I'm teaching them how to love themselves and to walk and talk with more confidence and do their thing. And then their wives would be like, this is amazing. And then their wives would join. This is in the very beginning, right? And I'm like, okay, 85% of consumers are online are women. B, women are out there looking for self-help. C, my personal program, which I had back in the day when I first started, these women are like intrigued. You're doing such great work with my husband. Can I join your calls? I want to join your calls.
Right.
And I'm like, all right. And it's already been a year and a half since I've been doing couples, but I quickly was like, I am a couples. I'm not just a men's coach. Like I am a couples coach. And I have this analogy. With the men, I go 50 miles an hour, which is a good speed. With the couple, I go 100 miles an hour. It's like you go double the speed on growth when you're both hearing both sides of the story. You're hearing like, okay, I'm sitting with this man alone. He's telling me what his wife did and said. Is he right? And then I bring her in, and then it's like, well, you're partly right, but you kind of messed up here, and let's fix this.
Sometimes therapy is, I know I'm going against my own thing, like it's a little bit dangerous.
Yeah.
Because if only one spouse is going to therapy, it creates a distance between them.
Yep.
And it creates a little bit more resentment and a little bit more animosity towards the other spouse if you feel like your needs aren't getting met and you're growing, and you're changing your method of communication and you're, adapting to what this spouse needs because you might, have a trauma that you need to heal or whatever, but then this one is staying here.
Yes.
And you're here.
Yep.
And then you're like, why aren't we matching up? And so that's why I think your work is so important because it takes the both of them and it holds both of them accountable, each in their own masculine and feminine, but it brings a harmony.
It brings those tools together. And that's what my program is based off of, very practical take-home tools. And so very quickly, I've been seeing couples for a long time now. And that's my specialty. That's what I do. There's every once in a while I will, when the woman, and it does happen, when she is just like doing so much work for so long, she's so fed up, so shut down, please fix my husband, get him to a certain spot, and then I'll join. That does happen, for sure.
Right.
For sure. But she joins pretty quick because you see him coming up, you see him, he's like, wow, okay, I'm ready to join. Yeah.
That instinct as a man, like when she tells you, like, I'm so upset and I'm so this and I'm so that, like, how do you shut up? Like, sorry for lack of a better word, instinctively you want to fix it, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, I'll say, like, don't say anything.
Yeah.
Don't fix it. Like, I just want you to listen. And he'll be like, okay, but like, do you want to hear my suggestion? I'm like,
Nope.
no.
So I get this, my wife is like, we have a joke about it, but it's no joke. And when you kind of get, I say in the beginning as a little bit of a joke, but I make it very serious pretty early on in my program, but I wait a couple of weeks, maybe a month, because I have to say this joke, but it's real. Unless your wife is literally asking for a solution, do not give one. How about that? Like, she has to literally say, I want your solution. If she's not asking for it, don't give one. Right. Like, literally, don't give one. Right. And it's so hard because that's not how our brains work. It's not how our emotions work. We channel our emotions and our emotional well-being, men, through accomplishment. We release oxytocin when we win.
So I'm sure it doesn't make sense to you guys. Like, why does she just want to talk about this and just go on about it and then just be like, okay, whatever, I'll just figure it out later.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's the emotional processing. There's many words for it. Contextual memory. It has a lot to do with, like, when I go over it and over it and over it, I heal each layer as I go. Yeah. And especially women definitely process while talking. We process, then talk. Men. Right. We process, then we talk. We rarely process while talking.
Yeah, but do you want to talk about this right now? Or
yeah. Yeah. And it's usually space for now. And like, let's say my wife is like, and then this happened, and our daughter went here, and our school did this, and then my mom called me, and I'm just like, okay. And then she's like, so how are you feeling? So what's going on with you? And then my wife, and I'll speak about me, but it's very common. Why are you so shut down? How come you won't talk? It's not that I won't talk. I'm processing. This is a scientific, you can look this up. Women are 8 times faster. You're at 200 milliseconds. You're quick.
When I was debating this whole Israel thing, should we go? Should we not go? Going back to the safety thing that you said, some of the safety things I had to put into my husband's head and be like, you have to think about this. You have to think about that.
Yeah.
What if we're here? What if we're there? He's like, hey, let's just go to Israel and we'll figure it out then. I'm like, no, like, we have to think of all these things before we take them there. And like, okay, then we're not going.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? You know?
Yeah, right.
And like, obviously it was the right choice for us. But then, like, in that conversation, when I like kept going back and back, okay.
Yeah.
It's like, it's too much. Like,
yeah.
You know, like, and it's just male versus female.
It is.
The way that our brains work. And I used to take it personally in the beginning of our marriage when he would shut down or when he would need time to process or when I would like talk. And I would feel like I lost his attention and like I would see like him just like, and I'm like, hello, did you hear what I just said? And I would get like butthurt. Like, it's not you. He's like,
it's software.
I can't listen for that long.
Yeah, it's a software issue.
He's a footnote.
Yeah, 100%. It's a software issue. Like I like to say, and me and my wife talk about this. It's like women have 100 tabs open on their computer. Men have like 4 or 5. Yeah. And they're very important. They're very deep. They're very settled and grounded. But we don't have 100 open. And when you're trying to open 100 for us, we're like, oh, my computer's not used to this. Yeah. My fan, this is when the fan's going. Yeah. We're like, whoa, let me take some time. So a big part of my practice, and I want to talk about the 5 pillars, is like I say, let him like lead, let him fail. Like, let him fail at this. It's okay. Like men, and I hold men accountable, and I'm like, don't rely on this. Don't rely that I'm telling you have slower software to be lazy. You got to catch up. You got to put the work in. Yeah. But as a couple, you have to have that rahmanis, that mercy on each other of like, okay, this is where I can really slow down, give him some patience, give him some breath, but it's his responsibility to show leadership and say, I will be ready for you in an hour. Let me come back to you this afternoon. Tomorrow morning, I'll have answers for you. But first, let me process all this. Right. Let me breathe into all this stuff, and I'm dedicated to it. That's the difference between a man of integrity and a man who makes like a passive man. Right. Because a man's like, I can't handle you. You're too much. I don't want to talk about this. and he never comes back and fixes it.
Right.
So this is the practical steps that I take. So in my program, it's based off of 5 pillars, and within each one of those pillars, I have tons of homework and different exercises, and I have names for them and all kinds of fun stuff. Pillar number 1 is mindset. You have to be able to know it's not about who you are right now, it's who you're becoming. So I do not believe that we're stuck. I do not believe you can't teach old dogs new tricks. This is not the way Hashem made humankind. We constantly can update ourselves.
Too far.
No, not at all. Okay. Not at all. I mean, obviously, it's circumstantial. Right. If there's like crazy infidelity and she's done, and like that could be too far gone. It's like, right. It's circumstantial. But if they both really want to make it work, no matter what has happened to them or how long, but they're invested, absolutely there is a way, because we do evolve. We evolve as creatures. We're not, and I don't mean Darwinism evolution. I just mean we can change. The Halacha talks about it. Kabbalah talks about it. Like, yeah, look at Avram Avinu. He's the definition of like Lech Lecha, going out of his father's house. It's like we are destined to change. We should never be stagnant, no matter how long you've been married, how old you are. Like, I've had dozens and dozens of clients that are grandparents with grandkids. So like, yeah, this is like real. So pillar number 1 is mindset. I help you understand, are you willing and ready to change? Do you want to become a new person, a new version of yourself? You're not perfect. He's not perfect. She's not perfect. Right. You will need rahmanas on each other. You do need to be willing to do new things. And I give certain exercises of like how to ease somebody into doing new things. And so that's like a pillar. You have to walk somebody through mindset. And number 2 pillar is called keeping your word. And it just means accountability and consistency. So especially for the man, the concept of keeping your word for a man, like this phrase that one of the most attractive things to a woman is a man who keeps his word. He says he's going to do something, he does it. He's going to be there at 8, he's there at 8. And if he's going to be late, he texts you at 7 o'clock saying, I'm so sorry something came up. I'm going to make sure this doesn't happen again, but I'm going to be at 8:30. I'm sorry. And he's thinking of you. He's considering you first. He's putting you first, the kids first. So that's called keeping your word. As the masculine, I have to give tips and tricks to walk them through this, to like ease into that lifestyle. For a woman, how does she keep her word? Also keep your word by being honest, but it's internal for a woman. You have to make sure that you're no longer, like I told you, my wife in that story, I'm no longer going to wear these masks. She's keeping her word to herself. I'm no longer going to live as like this fake version of myself. And I call it no longer husband pleasing, no longer people pleasing. That women are taught from a young age, especially in the Jewish community, everywhere, to be honest with you, is like, don't be a problem, don't speak out, live smaller. They don't say these words, but this is what's being drilled into little girls of like, no, it's okay, you don't have to. No, I'm really upset. I don't want to go. I don't want to do this. I was on the live with Aura last night, and she has a superpower of this, like speaks her mind and her heart amazingly, directly, with boundaries. Women keep their word to themselves and the marriage when they learn the skills of like speak from your desires and not your complaints.
Yes.
In the marriage.
I think that's hard to do because what I've seen is the fear of rejection. And this is what I teach in my workshops. I'm like, when you set a boundary, first of all, it's really scary to set it up. But the fear of rejection or pushback from that boundary. So instead of your boundary being firm and pleasant and assertive, you find alternative ways, like icing them out or not allowing them, let's say, to like be a part of the Shabbos meal or whatever it is, as opposed to saying like, it just doesn't work for us right now. And that's setting a boundary, but that can require pushback from the other person, and engaging in that is uncomfortable.
Yeah. So that's, in my opinion, why you need a program. Yeah. And because what happens is the wife, this is very typical, right? Basically what you said. The wife is like, well, I really want to tell him that I don't feel like going to our in-laws for Pesach, but I'm so afraid that he's going to be like, what? I planned it. We're going. Blah, blah. And it's just iced out, roommates, walls up, fights, right? So this is the linchpin in a lot of polarity and in my work. You have to be able to not be afraid of his reaction, because his reaction is what keeps her small.
Yeah.
Now, will he freak out? Yes. And am I scared of it? Yes. Does it mess up my nervous system? Yes. But the alternative is staying small. So this is where You have to slowly, with the right skills and the right tools, learn about keeping your word to yourself. And by the way, you just said the key word for pillar number 3, because 1 is mindset, 2 is keeping your word, 3 is boundaries. That's the third pillar. And like, how do you, because that keeping your word feeds into the boundaries. So how do you keep your word? Like you're saying, I'll use me as an example. Yehuda, I really don't want to go to the East Coast and visit the in-laws, even though I'm excited about it. I haven't seen my family in forever. But what about me? What about how I feel? What about how the husband feels?
Yeah.
What about what I'm going through? So this is where men of integrity comes in line. A man of integrity needs to be able to lead the relationship. It doesn't mean by force, by fear, by anything like that, God forbid. It's saying, I am 97% stronger than a woman physically. That's the science. And I have 97% more ability to handle stress than a woman. So men, we have the ability to handle stress 97% more than women. Our stress hormones for a woman are made in their thyroid, and they're 3% compared to men. This is why women get very burnt out very quickly, because they're trying to handle the same amount of stress as a man when a man is not stepping in. Their voice goes, it fluctuates their weight up and down because the thyroid controls the weight. Yeah. And so this ability to handle stress is where I call upon the man and I say, again, polarity, you're not the same. Your feelings are hurt. It hurts you can't handle it. You can't deal with it. You're supposed to be equal to her in her pain. No, you are built. Men are built to fight the world. We are built that way. I always say like the women have their superpower of the updated software, 8 times faster, 200 milliseconds. Yeah. You can run circles around us when it comes to intellectual and emotional intelligence. Like you're like waiting for us to catch up. I always say like men are like kindergartners, women are like in college, professors. They're like, when's he going to get it? And when I say to him, is he ever going to like emotionally be attentive to me? And men are like, what? What does that even mean? I don't even know what that means to be emotionally attentive. I love you. How was your day? Right. You know, they're like, no. I want you to connect with me. Like, and we're waiting those men to catch up, right? That's your superpower, among other things. Yeah. Men's superpower is we can keep going and going and fighting, and we reset 24 hours later. Right. We cycle every 24 hours. Right. So the whole concept of like, we can handle stress. I look at the men and be like, you need to handle this. You need to like rise above your feelings right now. If your wife wants something, don't be like, what about me? That's not what I say to men. And that's going to be really hard for a lot of people to hear that. But what happens eventually, it's really hard for them to hear it. My guys who like, I would love to like, I'll eventually interview my like all-stars, my VIP guys who go through my program. Who are like, Yehuda, you were right. I go, dude, 90% of the time in the beginning with me, you're going to shovel shit in the beginning. Right. You're going to be pissed at me. You're going to be so mad because I'm going to be telling you your wife wants something and it's genuine. I want Gucci bags and a trip to Paris. That's not what your wife's asking for. Your wife's saying, please don't make me go to our in-laws. You're going to be like, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that doesn't happen. And I'm here for you. And put your feelings aside for now. For now. Of course it's hard, but we're designed to handle hard things.
Yes, but we're taught compromise.
Yeah, but we're not 50.
We're not 50-50.
No.
We're not 50-50. And sometimes the woman's got to be 70 and the man's got to be 30 in different things, like in childbearing or things like that. You know, it's never, whoever sells this idea of marriage that it's 50-50, it's BS. But what I'm saying is it sounds like in your program in the beginning, the man might feel invalidated.
Yep.
And put down and
put down, no, that's up to her.
Put down, I'm saying like, just would feel invalidated and what's the word? Unimportant.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Why are you protecting men?
Because I care about my husband.
I know you love him, but he can do it. I'm not saying you, I'm saying he, the man. Or even your husband. But you don't need to protect him.
And like, I think speaking like fully honestly, it would be my work to work on my guilt behind him giving up something that.
Yes.
You know?
I promise you, deep down, and I know your husband. I know I can say this verbatim about him. He wants to give to you more than you want to receive.
For sure, 100%.
I promise you that.
100%. But the woman's work, and I'm sure this.
And you're stepping in the way of that. I'm literally in the beginning, I'm saying this.
So how does that work? Like I'm saying, use me as your client right now.
Okay.
Right? Like, and I'm telling you, okay, I don't want to go to my in-laws for Pesach.
Yeah.
And I tell him that, and he's like, okay, I'm going to do everything in my power.
Now, to be fair, I would only say these type of languages if you're already in my program and I'm helping, I'm guiding you. I don't, if you're listening to this, don't go do this right away. Be careful. Don't be like, well, Yehuda said on a podcast that I should ignore. Yeah, you just said on a podcast that I should ignore how you're feeling and I should get what I want.
No, not at all.
I am saying that, but do not do it without the skills. You need the skills.
Okay, I'm saying that. Like, you have to also coach the woman.
Yes, yes. So if you remember the keeping your word, no longer people pleasing,
Right?
No longer husband. We are. When I say we, I mean women.
All
Yes.
the messaging and
Yes.
and all the what's the word?
Programming,
all the messaging, all the influence that's been given over time to women to make themselves smaller, to learn how to people please. And there are different levels of people pleasing.
So deep, so deep. By the way, this is before you got married. Since you were a little girl, 100%. Your parents, your friends, your school, your everything.
Environment, nature.
People always ask me, like, does polarity heal trauma? 100%.
Right.
And not only do I say polarity heals trauma, there is no better medicine on this planet to heal anything than cracking open your relationship. Zero.
Right.
I am fully confident of that.
And it can get ugly.
Yeah. Yes, very ugly.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's not like
this is not a walk in the park.
No, when I had my friend on here, she's a divorce attorney. We were saying like the grass isn't always greener on the other side. It's greener when you water it.
Yeah.
Going through a divorce is expensive, and doing the work.
Yep. The investment technically is cheaper to do the work than divorce. Significantly. Yeah.
The emotional toll and going through that. And like you said, you have to be willing to hell and high water.
Yeah. I say this, people think I'm joking. Now the guys, I have a whole WhatsApp group of the men. I coach the men also privately. I have a WhatsApp group, and as long as you're a healthy dude, you're in there for life. Like, you're a tribe with me. We meet once a week. We're doing men's retreats. So the men need constant tribe work. Women need a village. Men need a tribe.
Right.
So I say to them, and the all-stars are in there, like, Yehuda was right. Like, I have new guys coming in, and they're like, this is the hardest work I've ever done in my life. And the guys in there, like, laughing, like, Yehuda, he told us that. He said, this would be the hardest thing you will ever do. Yeah. Really, but it's worth it, because living a bad relationship, having a broken heart, putting up walls, having a difficult marriage, and affects your children, it affects your money, it affects everything. If you're not working on that, everything will become in mud.
So far we have mindset.
Boundaries. So let me tell you about boundaries, just the end part of boundaries, like I kind of hinted at. You need a leadership in boundaries. I say to the men, if you're going to put up a boundary, if my wife hurts my feelings, she did something, she accidentally snapped at me in public, right? Let's say, and it's a problem. She didn't mean to, but it really hurt my feelings. The old me would be like, Shana, I can't believe you did that. How dare you? You hurt my feelings. Shana, I want you to know, you said something that really affected me. I really need you to work on that. I know it was an accident, but I have a thing with that. Please don't accidentally snap at me in front of other people, right? And then if she were to say, if she's like, thank you, I have my own opinion, whatever, I'm not ready to talk about it because the way you're talking to me right now feels too charged. She's putting up a boundary. Or maybe she's vice versa. I'm putting up a boundary, right? She's like, I'm not ready to just say, yes, I won't do that. We need to work it out. If I put up a boundary to my wife, she did something and I'm like, I'm not ready to talk about it, Shana. You really hurt my feelings. Or I need time. But Shana, I will come after you in 1 hour. I will come and fix this tomorrow. Her open loop system, her tabs, she will go into her masculine searching for you to someone to fix it. Do I have to go chase him? Is he going to come after me? We got in a fight. He's a roommate now. We put walls up. Who's in charge of resolution, right? Men of integrity, you are, buddy. Every time. Even if it's her fault, the man is in charge of resolution. Not forgiving, not fixing everything, but resolution initiation. Even if she had a horrible month, she's on the floor crying, and you were right. Say, I love you, I'm here, I'm really pissed. Tomorrow I'm going to come fix this. If she's in her femininity and she's putting up boundaries, she would say, I don't want to talk about this. You really hurt me, but I need you to come fix this. I need you to fix this. Or I often get texts like, if something happened between me and my wife, of course, by the way, let me make it very clear. Polarity and relationship fixing that I specialize in does not fix your marriage. It gives you the tools to live an amazing marriage. You're gonna fight. You're gonna get into stuff.
Right.
Things are gonna happen. Kids are gonna break stuff. Schools are gonna call. Money's gonna be a thing. Life is gonna happen. These are the
thing. Just you have a
yeah. I'm not into like our marriage. I have video testimonials of tons of people saying our marriage was here is horrible. Our marriage is amazing now. But I don't like them saying like we're all better. No,
because there's seasons.
it's evolution.
Yeah.
You evolve. But I like to say what me and my wife used to fight over for 1 month will take us 5 minutes.
Yeah.
We fix it in 5 minutes and we enjoy our life. We go to the beach.
And that's hanging over your head.
Yeah. There's a plan. There's a skill set. So anyways, boundaries with leadership. That's pillar number 3. Number 4, speaking of how do I tell my husband, like, I don't want to go to my in-laws, it's called armor. So I teach men to armor up, especially like I said in the beginning. You need to be able to show her nervous system, I got you no matter what. For her entire life, she was begging her parents, her mother, her friends, her husband, whatever, can somebody please catch me? Because I've been catching myself my entire life. So finally a man shows up to catch her. I teach these skills, how to show up, how to do it, where to lock in. On that note, you have to build armor to handle that. Because I have an exercise called clearing off the counter, which is, I'm tough about it to my guys, but I say at least 3 times a week, you need to go to your wife and say, I want to hear what you have to say. I'm not going to fix it. I'm not going to get defensive. I'm not going to give over anything. What's going on with me and what's our behavior, my behavior? What can we be better at? I want to hear from your heart. And she goes, well, the other day when you yelled at me, you did this, and it's just building up. The eyes go over, right? And the guy's like, well, that didn't happen. I didn't say it like that. That's not the detail. That's not the tone I had. You're repeating me as if I'm an obnoxious jerk, the whole back and forth. And I say, shh, don't talk. And if you're going to talk, say, please keep going. Thank you for telling me. What else do you have to say? That's the only thing you're saying right now. Yeah. And
I'm sure they really love you.
Yeah. And I say, you have to have armor.
Yeah.
You need to armor up to handle this. Armor is self-esteem, self-love, time with friends, time with Hashem. You must love yourself and have a mission-driven mentality to stay strong in the storm that I promise you will face. You are going to face the most difficult, frustrating storm you will ever have, of her finally feeling safe to be her true self in front of you, where she's not afraid of you anymore, and she's going to let you have it. She's going to tell you what you did 8 years ago. You weren't there when that baby was born. You went back to work too early. The bris, you were supposed to do the bris this way. It didn't happen that way. Contextual memory. If she's feeling something now, she's going to bring it back to something that happened 8 years ago. Be ready for it. So I say, put on the armor, fellas, and I walk them through how to armor up, how to have these skills, and how to practice this. I'm definitely not into like medicine journeys and microdosing and all this stuff. I'm not into that. I don't think it's good at all. But I say you need to microdose this. You need to handle your armor and build it and train. I have a whole analogy of how a man should be training in the front yard of his mansion that he is responsible for clearing out. I have a whole muscle for that. Now, how does armor apply to her? I ask her to learn to take off her armor. She's been carrying around this weight, this responsibility, getting it done 8 times faster, 8 times better, 8 times more on top of it than he is in the relationship, in the organization, in the planning this, booking the trips. What's going to happen with this? I say, you need to learn to take off your armor to her by letting him lead and let him fail. This is so hard for women. I say, I'm not saying, I know you had a trip to Israel and maybe this already happened. And I'm just using you as a verbal example. You don't need to get into your personal details. But I would say to you, Lenny runs a very successful restaurant. He can also book an entire trip to Israel. Don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about it. You don't even have to think about it. It's either done, but he may not book it the way you wanted. He may not get what you wanted. He may not, I'm just using you as an example because you just had that trip. But that's just a little microcosm of an example, right? Right. But how do you get there? So maybe you taking off all that armor, it's too much. Yeah. So, and by the way, you mentioned earlier about my wife, like God willing, she will be starting a podcast. She will be starting to get back into this work with me on her own terms, like in and out as she wants. No pressure, no, like this is because it speaks to her.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have a mushal that my wife said that we both witnessed it. We went to the beach a year ago, 2 years ago with a bunch of couples, right? And one of the couples she came to the beach first with the kid and put the kid down and everything's happening and we're doing the thing. And the husband comes and he's schlepping the cooler and the thing and the stroller and these, right? He puts it down and something falls out, like a milk or a drink or something. He puts it back a certain way or fixes a certain way and it was kind of broken. And she goes, well, the milk or the fruit is going to go bad if you put it there, but please put it back this way. And he walks away and my wife leans over to her and says, thank him. He just did everything, but it didn't happen exactly the way you needed it. You have to learn to thank him for his failures and then say, by the way, do you mind putting the fruit back differently next time? I really appreciate that you came and you schlepped. I see you. Men need to feel seen. This is how women can slowly take off the armor. So maybe it's too much right now for a whole Israel trip or whatever, right? Or a Cancun trip. But it's slowly be like, this is what I mean by let him lead, let him fail. Ladies listening to this, your husband, when you start to let him lead, he will 100% not do it the way you would want. Let it happen. Let it happen. Because the more that you see him doing it and taking the lead, like I took over everything. My wife did the credit card bills. I did everything. I took over everything. It took me 2 years. Currently, thank God, this is me bragging again. My wife doesn't have to worry about anything, any trip being booked, anything, unless I say, but make sure to pack this way. We're going to a cold place, whatever. And if she wants to be involved and she wants to be like, where are we staying? What's the thing? Then of course. But it's like, this takes so much work.
It takes a lot of effort to let.
Yeah, my wife, we did a trip last summer, whatever, up to the mountains somewhere. And my wife's friend called her and was like, so where are you guys in? And my wife says, I don't know. He's like, what do you mean you don't know? Like, yeah, my husband's taking care of it. You mean you just get in the car and go? Yeah, I do. And that's exactly. So, and I'll say to my wife, like, hey, let's make sure we get this food. Order this food, please. But I'm coming with this. If she wants to add, she'll add. Like it's just this lifestyle and don't get me wrong. Let me make it very clear to you and everybody. It's very hard to get there. Very hard. Start slow, but this is real. It is possible. We're like literally imagine living a life where you don't have to worry about anything. You as the woman, unless obviously kids, health, the feminine energy, the feminine role. So imagine that. That's
no, and I think there's that challenge of going back to what you said of letting him lead and letting him fail, because it goes back to the safety thing, right? Instead of woman. And okay, we're going to a cold place, but like I forgot to check the weather and you didn't tell me, and and now my kids don't have warm clothes. We're in the middle of nowhere, and then you're like, and
then you're just like left. Because again, like I said, we have to be careful with this, microdosing. Maybe don't let him lead and fail at a big trip like that. This is what I do. You start slow at home. Hey, I have this analogy of like the dishes, or anything in the house, whatever, garbage, whatever. I usually use the dishes of like, I keep asking you, keep leaving this is the women talking to the men. You keep leaving the dirty dishes in the sink. I keep asking you over and over. I feel like you ignore me, like you don't care. That's called talking from a complaint, right? Talking from a desire is like this. I feel so settled in my nervous system and much more attracted to you, Mr. Husband, when my nervous system is settled, and that means a clean home. If there is a clean home, I am way more involved in paying attention to you and wanting you. Can you please do the dishes? And please help me come up with a schedule and when that's going to happen.
And I think that a woman being able to say that comes from being comfortable with being vulnerable.
Yep. Which is the safety.
Say 100%. Because even saying like, thank you so much for taking care of our family does wonders for him.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to say.
Yes. Especially if he lets you down year after year after year after year in disappointment.
Yeah. But, or even saying like, well, like you filled up gas in my car. Like, thank you so much. Right. That sentence is so simple and it does wonders. but it's so hard to say because there's a vulnerability, there's the safety behind it. And there's so many things that is happening in the female brain. Like if it's over the phone, like, is he busy at work? Did he actually hear what I have to say? Oh, now he said what? And I have to repeat it again. And, and it's like, it's going back to the societal way and the training and the wiring that we have to come.
You really rewire it. That's what this is. You're rewiring it to brag about my wonderful wife. She called me right before we went live. What did she say?
I just wanted to say I love you and thank you for loading the washer.
She just called to say,
I thought that was beautiful.
I noticed.
She had no idea that I heard that.
Yeah, she was on speaker. Yeah.
Sorry, Jana.
Yeah, well, Anyway, so she called because she saw that she was like, oh, we ran out of, because we're moving in still. Our house is crazy. We just moved into a new spot. So there's things all over the place. She's dysregulated. Yes. For a woman's nervous system, a dirty home is just like, right? Yeah. So I got up a little early and I just started doing laundry, just like putting it in. She's taking the kids to school. I was like, do as much laundry as I can. And then I came here. She's like, oh, I saw you started doing it. She didn't ask me to do it. I did it. So
that's the best.
Yeah, of course. But her job in the relationship, not job, but you know what I mean? Like she knows her role is my husband feels so seen and appreciated if I let him know, thank you for doing that. Yeah. Because, women are like a strainer. They need a lot of appreciation, a lot of recognition, a lot of emotional attention, a lot. Men are more like a steel bowl. We need very little. Yeah. You give us a little bit of appreciation, a little bit of flirting, a little bit of this, it goes a long way. Yeah. And she knows that. Right. And so like, we've been doing this forever. We teach it. We're professionals in it. So like, you saw it live. You saw it. Like she called. She didn't know you were here. She's like, I saw you put something in the washer. Thank you so much. It makes me feel so much better. Yeah. Like that's it. That was a moment between me and her. But these are the little things that like I've had to learn to fail over and over and over. And her pulling back and like stop micromanaging everything. Stop overseeing how he does every little thing. But he has to get better at it. You have to book time together, talk about it, which is clearing off the counter, which is a huge exercise that I do. It's like, I noticed, Mr. Husband, that you've been taking the lead a lot more. I would love to give you feedback on what's working and what's not with me. Yeah. And so he can slowly get better, as opposed to, you didn't put the milk away right. You didn't do you got the wrong groceries. Right. It's just, this is the couple's work. This is why it's so important. Like, yes, I put a lot of onus on the man. I say to the man, you must be ready to work hard and build your stress levels up. Testosterone and cortisol.
Very high cortisol too.
But they have 97% less ability to make it.
Right.
And they're supposed to act like men in making it. Get out of here. Overwhelmed, shot nervous system, in their masculine, shut down emotionally, physically, sexually. It's all shut down. And so this is where you, as the man, this is why men hate me in the beginning. Close your mouth, listen to her, show up for her, create safety for her nervous system. She will start to wake up sooner, faster, and want to work on this relationship way quicker than you. Yeah. And pillar number five is my favorite personally. It's the simplest one. Massive action. It's just massive action because so many, like I said, so many couples, so many therapists, so many different techniques are like, you just talk about these things all day. Just talk about it. It's like, no. What did you text your wife today? Mm-hmm. Did you call him and thank her for doing laundry? Right. You see what I'm saying? Like, what did you do? Like,
that's what I see is like the catch-22 of talk therapy, because beyond that, you're accessing the same things constantly in your brain. And you're getting into this loop and reaccessing, and I'm not using the word trauma lightly, but whether it's trauma or pain or hurt or whatever you want to call it, you're reaccessing that every single time. Yeah. And it's actually growing bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger instead of taking those things and putting it into action.
100%. And so I have a whole pillar of like, you guys, part of my program is like, did you go out and play today? Did you do a trust fall? Did you dance together? What did you do? Enough of like I call it worshiping the relationship. You can't worship this. It's not a getchka. It's not an idol. You can't be like, well, you said this and she said this. And did we do Yehuda's homework right? Did we stop? Like just say, I love you, buy her flowers, like come back and say, I'm sorry. Like him mainly, but like, and I mean that. And like, even if he's not, because that's leadership, somebody needs to rise above it. So
do you find that sometimes people get stuck in the doing the work, like you're saying, worshiping
the relationship.
worshiping the relationship, getting stuck in doing the work, getting stuck in victimization, getting stuck in all of that.
Do I find it? Yeah, of course. Yeah. All the time. That's one of the big things. I need to shake it up. I say, like, you're overthinking this. You need to either go do a little bit of self-care, which is huge in my book. Like, I teach her how to do self-care, how to surround herself with feminine energy, him to do self-care, surround himself by masculine energy, come back and recalibrate. And then if you do, go play. You need to play a little bit. You need to move a little bit. You need to, like, just remember. Yes, I have a huge section on fun.
Yeah, but it's hard, especially when business, kids, responsibilities.
Yeah.
It's
even the small stuff, the kids sleeping. I put on Michael Jackson with my wife in the living room. We dance for 10 minutes. Just me and her. Just be silly. Just reset the system. Like, it's not worshiping everything. It's like everything's either a fight or work or Yehuda's program or Polarity. Stop. Like, just play. Play for a little bit.
Sometimes it becomes something else to focus on.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what I think can be dangerous. When that becomes their focus, instead of focusing on the underlying real work that needs to happen beyond the weekly sessions with you or beyond the program. And so somebody signs up to your program?
Yeah. So I have a whole thing now. Thank God I launched it about a month ago, 2 months ago. I have a course. Mm-hmm. It's a whole course. So it's a 3, and if you're doing really well, I add a nice VIP month on there for free, 4 months. Like, if you're really putting the work and you feel a little stuck, let's keep going. I'll do that for a lot of people. So you sign up for the course. It's me teaching this on video with PDF homework and all these different things. Then you join.
You're pre-recorded.
Okay. And then you join me coaching you in a group setting with many other couples. Okay. Sometimes 3 are in the room, sometimes 10 are in the room, depends on which cohort you join. So that's like option number 2. So you can just buy my course, self-guided, have fun. Right. Option number 2 is same course that you own forever in group setting, which is the group setting is really cool. Actually, I've done the most healing in group settings, even though it sounds very vulnerable, because you are in there with people that are going through what you're going through. You don't feel alone, and they ask questions and you ask questions. You, like, feed off each other. Yes. And the way I answer the group, everybody's benefiting on, like, that wisdom. I'll find a nugget and be like, oh my God, we didn't think of that. So glad you asked that.
Respond. They will.
Yeah, they'll be like, we just went through this and oh my God, it's so cool. Yeah. So that's the best. That's what most people do. Mm-hmm. And then I have more of a VIP one-on-one where you can get my one-on-one time. It's just the 3 of us. So I had to move. Thank God. I saw one-on-one people for the past 2 years, and it would be me, you, and Lenny in a room on virtual coaching, and I would walk you through everything. Yeah. Thank God I have too many people. I have to do group. So you go from 1-to-1 to 1-to-1. And so I have a group, and I'm learning, like, group is so cool. Like, and if people are ready to buy my time for more VIP one-on-one, I do offer it.
So and so it's 3-4 months, depending on the program or depending on the package that they choose. And then what happens beyond that? They've graduated the course.
So I like to call it, you're given the tools. It's sort of like, you want to learn to be an electrician, you got to go to school for 3 or 4 months and learn how to, and then you got to go on the job. And then you got to go do it. So they learn these tools. They have the homework. They have the stuff. They're in my WhatsApp tribe. They're following up. They're asking questions. I haven't had so far just for men who are in there. And the women, I every single couple that I sign on, I'm in a WhatsApp chat with husband, wife, me. So in that personal chat,
they have access to you.
Yeah, it'll be Lenny, Liat, Yehuda, MOI coaching. It'd be the 3 of us. And if you guys have follow-up questions, you want to get on a quick call, you want to leave voice notes, that's, like I said, this is my shluchas. Like, I'm always available as long as you guys are healthy and normal. And I haven't really had anybody where they're just like, here and there, I've had people that are just like, guys, stop. Like, you're not listening to me. Like, stop. Every once in a while.
Right. But when you've encountered people, or have you encountered people, I would say, have you encountered people that are beyond the scope of your program, beyond the scope of your health? And
yes and no, in the sense of, I think everybody needs help. It doesn't always have to be through me. Although in my personal opinion, I think Polarity is for everyone. Yeah. It doesn't have to be the way I teach it. Right. But I think Polarity.
Match.
Yeah. And I've had prickly clients that are just like, this did not work for us. right? And I actually had like a nice bring-in with my wife about it, because she used to be a coach for years and years. And she goes, some people aren't coachable. Meaning it doesn't mean they're not coachable ever. Right now, where they are, and the pattern I've had, like, I can count on one hand less than 5 times, especially the men were just like pissed the whole time. And there's a little bit of breakthroughs, little bit of like this, but they're so in their anger, either from their own childhood, their own marriage, what they think their wife is doing to them. Like, I have a rule that men don't like me to hear to say, like, my life, I hear this all the time. My life would be so much better if my wife would do X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, shut the F up. Like, you're blaming, like, in order to come to my program, you have to be the type of man who is no longer blaming anything on anyone else. Like, it does not matter what your parents did, what anybody did to you, what you've been through, you're responsible.
Building up your self-esteem and
Yeah.
confidence, and knowing that we're all flawed. Nobody's perfect. No marriage is perfect.
100%.
It requires work. It requires you to be able to put in the work constantly.
Yes.
And understand that sometimes I might not be able to get what I want.
Yep.
Okay. And that's
And it's not someone else's fault.
no. And it's for both the man and the woman. That's a part of life. Like,
Yeah.
and that's okay. But I think if I'm hearing what you're saying correctly, it's not about not being able to get what you want. It's about the man and his masculine, the woman and her feminine, learning how to communicate that.
Yes.
Specifically for women, not through complaint, but through desire. And for a man, stop being a baby.
Yeah. Just like the thing that changed my life, I had a mentor and my wife basically saying, I believe in you, you can run our life, and I want you to. Nobody is going to save you but you. Yeah. No one, obviously Hashem, but we're not talking about that. Yeah. But like, nobody internally, you can do this. Like, you are the master of your own outcome. It's not your wife's fault. It's not your parents' fault. It's not your work's fault. It's not your money fault. Yeah. Yep.
How am I?
What am I going to do? What am I going to do?
Yeah.
You know, like pillar number 1 that you were talking about, but how much of what's happening on the outside, right? And I see this a lot. Like, people say, like, did you see that? Like, he made a face at me. And I'm like, he was looking down at his phone and maybe he got a text or something, or like maybe somebody really pissed him off, but like, you over personalized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You made it personal.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Exactly.
You know, and it's having that understanding of like, how long are we going to hold on to the victim mentality of like, look what was done.
They have this, or like,
They have a nicer house than me, or they have a better car than me.
you know what I've been told in the beginning? It's like, well, yeah, Yehuda, like, you're good at this because like your wife gets it. And I'm just like, bro, like in the beginning when men are having a really hard time, like, you don't understand what I'm going through. Yeah. And I'm like, you have no idea what I've been through. Yeah. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know my late nights. You don't know my fights. You don't know my life. And so it's just like, no, you can't look at anybody.
People only see the success story. And I say this all the time. Like, people see Lenny's Casita today, and I'm like, you guys
did not see where it came from. Not at all.
You guys don't know. Like, it's not important. It's like a part of our life, but like, you don't know what it required of the both of us, the sacrifice, the challenges, everybody has a different, you know, like,
exactly.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah. And that's the mindset. That's where men, it's funny, like the men who hate me in the beginning, they don't hate me obviously, but they are like, God, you're like, who is this guy? You're like, just saying, shut up, take care of your wife. Stop. Like, this is your job. This is not only your job. I prove it to them in halacha. I prove it to them in Kabbalah. Like, the servitude of the masculine energy is where we get the most pleasure. When we are serving, when we are giving. And like, my wife and I have this this is very advanced polarity. So go ahead and take it. Or take it completely out of context. I don't care. Nobody is responsible for your happiness, man, but you are responsible for hers. That is polarity. Yes, I could break that down for you. I know you do. That's why I said it's advanced polarity. Yeah. It's obviously, by the way, I'm not taking away, you're not responsible for your own happiness, but she's not responsible for his.
No.
But he is responsible for hers.
But the reason why I can agree with the first part of what you're saying is because, again, advanced polarity, maybe
very advanced.
But I really do believe that people who attach their happiness to others or to materialism are never going to be happy.
Maybe we need to focus on the definition of happiness. What I mean is your internal content, your internal, I don't know, whatever.
I'm saying like if I piss Lenny off, it's not going to affect him as much as if he pisses me off. And that's what you're saying.
I'm saying, I'm also saying maybe, but I'm also saying it is his job to protect her. It is not her job to protect him. Ever. This is advanced polarity. It's not.
This is not what I thought we were going to talk about.
We could. We don't have to. We don't have to.
I'm happy to. Listen, I told you in the beginning, I love all of this. But okay, tell me how protection is the same as happiness.
Okay, because it's connected to safety. That your level of safety and your nervous system being settled, and if you're protecting yourself,
I hear what you're saying.
You see me break it down, right?
I'm seeing
you're seeing it
of life in my head.
Yes.
I see what you're saying for sure. And I see the times in my life where I've expressed what I wanted or needed, and those things have been fulfilled. Or pulling back from my masculine, going more into my feminine, and feeling like I am a little bit freer.
Yep.
And so that protection, happiness, connection, safety, I totally see. Tell me how that happens for the man.
Himself.
Okay, how?
Self-love, self-care, self-esteem. Don't get me wrong. It does not mean we cannot receive our favorite happiness of all time from our wife and kids. We can receive it. We should not rely on it. There's a big difference. Women, my wife should and is welcome to rely on me for her well-being. This is, so let me go a little bit Kabbalistic.
Yeah.
Mashpia Makabal. Hashem does not need anything from us.
Right.
Zero. Like nothing.
Right.
In this high level stuff, the masculine represents Hashem. The healthy, I call it divine masculinity, the energy the advanced polarity that I'm saying, we don't need anything. Right. A man should need nothing, even from his wife. But we give. We are the giver. We are the mashpia. Right. The feminine, the Jewish people, me and you, we are the feminine. We rely on Hashem. This is our life source. So in a microcosm, masculine, feminine, husband, wife. So this is how this is very advanced polarity.
I completely hear what you're saying.
Do we have masculine and feminine in us? Of course. Does the feminine side of me get heartbroken if my wife doesn't pay attention to me? Of course. But can I override with my masculinity and be like, I can handle this. I don't need my wife's approval. By structure, by a plan, structure and a plan, which goes back to the program, but goes back to polarity, which is masculinity, healthy masculinity within a woman. There's many forms of it. The biggest form is being a mother. You are in your masculine in a divine way when you are mothering. You are protecting, you are providing, you are giving all day long with your kids. Right. You're in your masculine. How is healthy femininity in me, a man? When I'm nurturing my children, nurturing my wife, being compassionate. This is healthy femininity. Unhealthy masculinity within a woman we spoke about all day, which is like, I can't relax. I need to do this. I'm on top of everything. That's unhealthy masculinity.
I need versus I want.
Yeah.
Right. And I think I heard you, I don't know if it was alive or if it was when you said that if a woman wants to work because it brings her fulfillment.
Of course, she can make $10 million. Right. Not because she has to.
Right. If it's a desire versus
a need.
Yeah.
A need is the pressure for her to perform, to bring in money, to pay bills. She's in her masculine.
Healthy femininity in a man looks like him nurturing his wife, nurturing his children, giving that care. Compassion, softening himself.
Yeah, 100%.
What does unhealthy femininity look like in a
neediness? So unhealthy is like, I wish my wife would do more and I would be better. I would be happy. Blame, neediness, lying on anyone. That's femininity. Wanting to receive from someone else. Complaining, venting. Now, there's a big difference between the way a man vents and complains. If a man says, either in a group of men, but especially to his wife, gentlemen, advanced polarity, earmuffs, but take the earmuffs off. Don't ever complain to your wife about anything. Ever. Like literally ever. Can you open up your heart and talk about what you're going through when you set up the right environment? Absolutely.
So coming home and saying, my employee, like so annoying, that's a complaint? Or is that venting?
Depends how it was set up. Liat, I don't need you to fix anything. I just had a crazy day. I'd love to share it with you. Mm-hmm. You don't need to do anything. How are you feeling? Can you hear that?
What if because of my knowledge in like therapy, right? There's conflict or whatever. And it's like, I just want to know what you think.
Your husband saying you want to know what you think?
He wants to know what I think.
It's very tricky. It's not impossible, but it has to be.
I would say like he's very, you know what I mean? Like I'm
Yeah.
not concerned about.
No, I get it. And I know it's not necessarily dafka you guys, but like, so like you have to, okay.
I'll bring you back to the venting and complaining. Okay, venting and complaining for a man, you said looks very different and depends how it's set up.
So for example, if I may use a little bit of like intimacy analogy. In order for intimacy to go right, woman has to feel safe and settled and wanting and not rushed, etc., etc. So similar with emotional connection.
Right.
No different. As a matter of fact, it is a perfect analogy, but I won't get into that right now. But the when it comes to that, the whole concept of if I have an issue with my business, a client, a retreat I'm putting together, and I'm stressed and I don't know what to do, whatever, I would pull Shana aside and be like, I want you to know that I have an exercise called Spotlight. It's literally, how does a man talk about his emotions without putting his woman in the mother masculine role? Right. How does it happen? And this is exactly what you're asking me. Right. So Spotlight is, Shana, I'm not asking you to fix anything. I don't need your problem solving mode. I want to share with you and connect with you. Where are you holding in your day right now, your kids, your day? Can you do that right now? And she has full right to say, I'm not ready right now. I'll try to solve everything for you and go into my mask. Or no, we're good. I'd love to hear it. What happened?
Right.
And then when you get good at that, you can have short form. I now say I have clients, and me, obviously, but my clients will be like, I need to do a spotlight. And the wife will know, am I there? Okay, I think I can handle it. No, code word spotlight. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have practice.
For sure. I'm just thinking like there's the need to talk about the challenges as a human being. I see your smile. Bear with me for a second.
Yeah, I know.
Like Barry Zions talks about this a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like it's okay for you to talk about your fears. It's okay for you to talk about your disappointments.
With your wife, you mean? Is that what you first?
I think he's just saying in general. I don't think he's specifically saying like with your wife or not with your wife.
No. Right.
From a healthy perspective, it's important to not just push those things.
Yeah, let me
talk about those things, but you're saying that better for you to do it with like
other men.
Right?
Yes.
Versus you to go to Shane.
I'm not only saying better for me, it's better for her also. It's better for both of you. It's better for the relationship. Promise you. 100%
So he can't come to me with his problems.
Not unless there's a spotlight set up properly.
He's clearly setting it up and telling me I don't want you to.
That you're not becoming his mother, because the vast majority of women get turned off when a man starts complaining to her.
Yeah.
Big time.
But there's also that moment of connection that you want. You want to be tuned in.
That's where you can amplify the emotional connection. Do it right. So amplify that emotional, get rid of the neediness.
Needed. He needs to set it up to say, I'm not looking for you
to be my mother. I don't want
for you to give me advice or whatever. I'm just sharing with you a frustration that I have.
And the check-in really is with her heart.
You.
How are you? How are you? Bingo. Along those lines. Bingo.
So that, I hear you. That gives the connection. That lets her feel like he's tuning her in.
And he's ready for any boundary. You know what? I feel like you feel too needy for me right now. I need to stop. Like, boom. You're protecting the polarity. His job is to protect polarity. And by setting up spotlight, that's how you do it. A man who comes home and be like, I don't know what to do. I can't pay these bills. What do you think she's feeling? I have to step in. I need to figure this out. I need to help him.
Right.
Turns her off big time. The other way, so here's
because if that's the standard that they're used to, right? Like until somebody goes into polarity work, they don't even know that that's what's happening.
Yes, yeah, but no, she knows. She just can't say it. She knows. It's a turnoff.
Right.
She knows.
It's unspoken.
It's unspoken. Yeah. And so look, everybody's different. Right. A lot of couples are really good friends and they kind of have this rhythm and it kind of works, but it's still a little bit of hint. There's other people that are like, what? This guy, all he does is complain to me about how hard his life is. I have to step in every time and fix everything about him. Like that's the vast majority of people. Most couples are like, which
requires a huge shift in.
Oh yeah. Yeah. 100%. No, so this is the thing. And I've clocked it. Look, everybody has to do this for the rest of their life. I'm doing it I'm not only a member, I'm not only a founder, I'm a member. Like I'm in it with these guys. I go through what everybody goes through.
Okay, so you have the tools. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to put the spotlight on you now. You have the tools.
Yeah.
But like we said earlier, there's seasons of life and things come up and things change, and some days are easier than others. Some phases are easier than others. How do you check in with yourself? Because it's hard to be that mirror for yourself when you might be going through something that you didn't have prior experience.
I think it's just training. Like, this is how I train the men. I'm trained as well. Like, I do a lot of self-care. I love myself very much. I practice speaking highly of myself. I write affirmations down every day. Who I am, what I want to be, what are my goals. I'm going shooting guns on Sunday with my best friend. Like, you have to be activated in the self-care. That's how I do it. That's the way I teach men.
Checking in with the coach and stuff like that.
I have my own mentors, that I look up to, and never be the smartest person in the room, especially if you're a coach. Like, I'm giving advice all day long. That's what I
bigger superpowers of any individual, man or woman, to have the ability to say, I don't know.
And I make it a point to talk to my mentors multiple times a week. Like, I'm not just, either you get full of yourself, you're giving advice all day. Like, come on. No, I'm here trying to help people. And yes, I'm good at it, but like, you can't just, I see a lot of coaches get really into themselves. And it's just like, you have to be so careful, because so many people on my phone are like, thank you, you did great, you helped us. It's just like so bad. I saw your video. Like, so many people come up to me like, oh, your video helped me, my wife loves it. And I'm just like, be careful. Like, you have to just be like, okay, thank you, I appreciate it.
The of Judaism comes in.
Big time.
Knowing that your success is not you, you're just a vessel through which Hashem do these powers.
Bingo.
And keeping that in mind constantly. And that is like what you're saying, like the thank yous, like the ego boosters.
Yeah. The dopamine. Yeah. Yeah. And like all the positive stuff, and then like, Yehuda helped us, and I'm like, it feels good. Why wouldn't I'm human? I have human nature. It's great, but like, at the same time, like, you have to keep yourself in check with self-love and grounded. Put yourself in I try to surround myself with people and coaches that are doing better than me. Like, who's doing bigger and better things than me? Who's further along than me? Like, surround yourself with those people, so you're not the leader in every room you're in when you're coaching people all day. You know, like, it's so healthy to do that.
I'm sure also from your standpoint, like in your marriage, you're leading. In your business, you're leading. You're also human. Sometimes you need to be led too.
Yeah, of course. I love it when like the guy I go shooting with, he's my mentor. He's my business, not a business. I used to work for him. He's a CEO. He's successful. All these different things. And like, I just absorb. I absorb his knowledge, his wisdom. I ask him questions. I'm the student. I'm the guy becoming the student on purpose. I put myself in those situations on purpose to be the student, to not just constantly be in this position of, how many people have you helped today? Like,
it is important.
Of course. Of course.
But yeah, going back to what you're saying of like not getting too high.
Yeah. And in particular, like, I mean, who hasn't? But I've become recently very close to Rabbi Zions. I've known him forever, but we've always been close, but I've become closer. Yeah. And so he's a big help. Yeah, I bet. And so he's a big help too. He's like on the more spiritual side, Judaism side.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
Back to the beginning. You said that you and your wife started it 10 years ago for yourselves.
No, we went through 10 years of difficult marriage. We've been doing this for about 7 years.
You started with your own personal.
No, we were together. We went through therapists, coaches. Yeah, about 7 years ago.
About 7 years ago. So 7 years ago, Polarity was not such a big.
No.
See.
No, yeah.
How did you trust the process?
How it felt. Because we'd done everything. We read the books. We went to therapists, alternative therapists, this therapist. We did everything. And this was the first time where I behaved a certain way based off of what she said. Even like one of her YouTube videos or something. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, let me try that. And it really worked. And her nervous is like, whoa, that's different. And chip away at the iceberg more and more, signed up for her programs. I actually ended up working for her. Oh, wow. Yeah, I was her creative director for a while. That's amazing. On her content. So I have a tons of knowledge from what she's into.
And so to become a coach, is that through a certification process?
No, I mean, I did go through a thing called Smart Coach, and they do certify you, but it's like, doesn't mean anything in the sense of like it's not like I can go and transfer those credits somewhere.
Yeah, because now I'm seeing a lot of people pop up, specifically men.
Yeah.
Polarity, like
Like I have a certification, but like
No, but I'm seeing a
whatever.
lot of people pop up like within the same like circles, community of like being polarity coaches now too.
Oh, yeah. I have. I've seen it a little bit here and there. Yeah, and I know there's tons in the non-Jewish world, but in the Jewish world, there's a handful, I think.
There's a handful, but I think maybe because it's LA, there's like more in LA.
I'm also like, it's so funny. Like, I have a whole social media presence, tens of thousands of followers, and growing, like whatever. And I'm so not tapped into like that world so much. Like, so many people are like, "Have you met this person or that person? This person wants you on their podcast." I'm like, "Sure, I don't." Like, I'm so just dialed into like what I'm doing, what I'm making, how to just grow and just be me. So like, if you, introduce me, I'm in. Like, I'm so open.
I think that being dialed in and so in is because you know that this is your avenue.
Yeah.
And it's the knowing is not attached to the money.
Yeah.
It's the fulfillment that you get from it.
Hashem should bless both of us with tens and tens and tens of millions of dollars. When I have that money, I would still do this.
100%.
Without a doubt.
But that's why you're not focused on others.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You know, when you're so distracted by the noise around you, it's because you're not confident in what you're doing, or you have some sort of doubt. Yeah. You know, but like somebody can come and say something to you and it might hold truth, right? There might be some weight to what they're saying. Sure. It's not going to weigh on you the same way. Yeah. As like maybe if they were to make a comment when you're producing.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's this level of like, I love this. I see results. I love helping people. That is a guilty pleasure for sure.
The satisfaction, the dopamine that you get from
and
seeing the result.
It's just something weird. I just remember 7 years old. I just had this moment outside. I was in the woods with Hashem, and I had this like download, whatever you want to call it. And I was just like, I just had this voice in my head ever since then. Like, Yehuda, you have to help people. Yeah. That was it. It just lived with me. It's just been in my ecosystem.
All of our struggles, like, is helping people just in different ways. Yeah. And like, I think for me, from a young age, also knowing that like I want to help people, and took me a while to figure out how I'm doing it. Yeah. And when I started my Instagram page, it was like automatically like, whoa, like I love that you're talking about this. Nobody talks about this. And there was so much more fulfilling in the one-on-one therapy or the couples therapy that I was doing at the time. And then like on Sunday, we went to Bella's, and this woman like we're walking and like normally like when we get like attention, I think it's Letty, you know? And she was like, I'm listening to your podcast. I'm like, me? She's like, yeah. Oh, wow. Like, thanks so much. You know, or like I was in the market like a few weeks ago and this girl was like, I was just listening to your podcast. And I was like, wow, like, thank you so much. And like getting those messages, knowing that you're doing what Hashem wants you to do.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Is the greatest satisfaction. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, like, I get it. Like,
it's my favorite thing. And like, and I get to like go on wild adventures, like go on podcasts. And I was just in San Diego last week speaking to a group of like 100 men, and like they invited me down there, and I did a retreat in North Carolina. I'm going to do another one in the East Coast, and like you just get to do these things.
You organize these retreats by yourself?
I did one jointly last year. This one will probably be myself, and I might do a joint one again. Yeah, we'll see.
Right.
It's in the works. Amazing. But yeah, it's you get to just do all these fun things and kind of do what you love. But don't get me wrong, just like you said, you get to see the end result, but like it took work, real work to get here, and like in my marriage, in my business, on myself, and it's not over. I'm not done. Yeah. Like, we're just getting started.
For sure. Yeah. For sure. And like, you know, you turned your pain into purpose. I think most people, when in this field, when they're successful, it's because they know what it feels like. And you can sense.
That's the biggest thing that people tell me when I ask for feedback on my course or feedback on my after people are done and I want to learn and grow, like get better. And I'm like, what's the good and the bad and the ugly? And the good, I can tell you the negative too if you want, but it's like they're like, Yehuda, we feel like you have been through what we've been through, and you don't hide that. Right. You don't. I'm not just here to be like, well, you know, you should probably do this. I don't know what that's like. It's like, no, I've been up late at night. I've had the fights. I've been there, you know, and it comes out. So
it goes back to what you were saying with group therapy. The healing that comes from a group, from a collaboration, is different. People don't want to feel like they're alone. Loneliness makes it harder for them to open up.
Absolutely.
And I want to pivot and ask you a question. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but as a woman, we try to protect our space, we try to protect our energy. And, and I'll speak for myself, like being that my husband is so out there in the world, I have a hard time with people knowing details of my life. So with what you share, thank God you're growing and you're going on podcasts and you're being asked to go here and go there and give a talk and all that stuff. Your job as the man is to protect your woman. How do you protect her in that while sharing?
It's very difficult. It's very difficult. My wife is quite private. She used to be quite public. Now she's quite private. And the best thing that I've found with the rhythm that I've found with my wife is more of like, the more I speak the truth and stay in that path, the better it resonates with her nervous system. If I try to say things as a joke or like, I don't know, say like, I have little catchphrases, I have little things here and there, and it kind of could be like, stuff like that. It's just like, it's not taken so well. And like, it's not like criticism. It's more of like, I have to find, it's a balance. It's definitely a balance being
Because
like,
is a part of your work that
yeah, you have to.
But imagine that also working with the woman as a male coach, you need to also show the woman who's part of that couple that you're working with that you can understand her.
Yeah. So I have a rule. I have a very strict rule. I've been asked 1,000 times, can you make a women's group and run it? I'm like, no way.
Yeah.
Hundreds of women in there and me running it, that's not SNEAS, number one. It's just not appropriate.
Right.
But I often say this, and it's so important because I went through this when I was going through all my different coaches and helpers and all these different people. And if anyone was a man, I did not like them. It does not matter if I'm a great person or a bad person. It doesn't mean I don't like them as a person. So I have you'll understand what I mean in a second. So my rule is, if you guys are in my program and you guys are going through module 1 or module 2 and you're 3 weeks in and you guys get in a fight, I can't tell you how many times I've heard, well, Yehuda said you should do X, Y, and Z to the husband.
Yeah.
And I say to them, I say this now in the beginning, don't ever use my name. Ever. Right. Like, say, Polarity, the program, this worksheet said this, this exercise said this. Right. Because when a man hears another man's name, even if they're friends, it's biologically wired into us. What did you just say? Like, don't say other men's name. We're in the middle of a fight and like
keep my wife's name.
Yeah. It's like, it's just like our blood boils. And it doesn't mean we can't get over it, but I don't think we should. We should be that way. We should be that protective. Yeah. We should be guarded always. And so that's why I have that rule of like, so to answer your question, like, how does my wife deal with it? I'm just very careful not to be involved with, I talk to her every time I'm doing something with somebody, I'm going somewhere, I'm doing something, like all these different things. So like, yeah, it's hard. It's not easy, and it's not necessarily a negative thing. I think it's a healthy thing. Yeah. Like being in the public eye, talking about relationships, and I'm not doing it with my wife.
I'm saying you have to share certain parts of your personal struggles.
Yeah. You're saying, how do I balance that?
Yeah.
I talk more about the issue as opposed to details.
Yes.
I've 100% gotten fights with my wife where we're slamming doors or I'm slamming doors and yelling and we don't talk to each other for weeks. Yeah, I'll say that. Like, right. I won't say what it was about.
I'll say sometimes if my husband is sharing a story, I'll say like, this part of the story is yours to share. This part of the story is my thing of it. It's not yours to share, but it doesn't affect his work if he's.
Yeah. So
from your side of the work, when you're working with a couple, you're going to share stories because of relatability, because of getting the point across, because of, maybe it's not happening so much because in your modules it's pre-recorded. So it's not happening so much, but on those phone calls or on those WhatsApp chats or on those.
Yeah. I mean, I keep it pretty substantial versus detail. And my wife will tell me, we'll have breakthroughs in our marriage and we'll come up with our own systems. She will tell me, please don't teach this. She'll say that. Like, this is for us. This is for us. And like, obviously I respect that. And so like, we'll come up with these like really minute, like very special detail or a chiddush or like these like, I call it the chassidus of polarity. Like we go deep in that stuff and she knows like, please don't share this. Mm-hmm. This is for us. And so, yeah, that's how I protect her, and I keep my word. And I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes, but like, I don't give any kind of crazy details.
Yeah. I'm just like not specifically to Shayna. I would just say that anybody in this field that somehow you need to establish rapport, you need to establish relatability. So sometimes, like, even with me in therapy, like, I not divulging details, but like having to explain to them sometimes when I'm not getting through to a client, like to explain to them, like, I understand.
Yeah, I've been through this. Yeah, I'll say like, yeah, one time me and my wife, we fought, and it lasted a week, and it was about a similar subject, and like I'll go and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. But like for me, as like me being a very, and I think
It could be a masculine feminine thing.
right. I don't
Also.
think it's me being a private person. I think women in general are private and we
Yeah.
like to protect our insular lives. We're very careful with who we bring into our home. I don't mind seeing you and chill. I don't mind saying hello to you on the block, whatever. If you're in my home, it means I trust you and I feel like my family is safe with you inside my home.
Sure.
Right. So I think that in this outside world, like having to reveal so much,
Yeah.
but maybe not, because you can.
Yeah, and I rely heavily on the work. I lean it on the work. Like, men behave this way, women behave this way. Your wife is probably doing this. Your husband's probably doing this, and that's, you see my content. I'm not like the other day. Like, there are coaches out there like, my wife and I are in the kitchen together dancing, and this is, we just got in a crazy fight. Like, we this is how we made up. People do that all the time. That's not at all.
It comes from having time to develop that, and trusting that the work itself is enough to create that change that that couple is looking for, and not feel like I have to share so much more so that they can see.
So they get it. Yeah. Sure. It's fascinating. It's always a good balance. I love it though.
Yeah. It's great. No, it's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. This is an honor. Oh, and I also, so you can follow me on Instagram, Men of Integrity Life.
Yes.
You can also, I try to do a free live masterclass every Thursday evening at 7 p.m. EST, which would be 5 p.m. West Coast time. I talk about the 5 pillars, and I bring people and introduce people to my program if they're interested.
Okay, amazing. So Men of Integrity Life, Thursday, 5 p.m.
PST, and then 7 p.m. EST.
Okay, masterclass, and check out Yehuda's page. You can find the link in his bio for your website, right, where they can sign up to the program if they need it. And any questions you have, feel free. He's got a lot of information on his page. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's so fun. Thank you.
Amazing, and I think that it's really going to help a lot of people hearing this conversation and hopefully help balance out the masculine and feminine.
Thank you so much.